Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about Seven Wonders Duel, which is one of our favorite fast-paced two-player games that can be played in 30 minutes. Seven Wonders Duel employs a lot of strategy, but when it comes down to the basic theme of the game, basically you and your opponent are creating two separate civilizations, and you're competing via your civilizations. Your civilizations go through three different ages where you are trying to complete certain goals that will ultimately make you the winner.
There are three different ways to win. The first way, I guess there's no real order, the first way to win is through scientific advancements. Basically, you construct 6 different instruments that can propel a society to victory, I guess. The second way to win is through military might. So basically, you just throttle your opponent and they lose instantly. And then the third way to win is how we usually end up winning or losing, which is through civilization. And that's where you just look at the total cumulative victory points for each civilization.
The mechanics of how you do this is generally through getting different resources and crafting different cards and abilities, as well as finding cards that have points on them that you get to keep. So throughout the game, we're basically accumulating cards through different mechanics that the game allows in order to win in those 3 different ways.
There are 3 different ages. The first stage is basically building up your civilization from the roots. So you're getting simple stuff like stone, wood, and some military objectives, but mostly it's pretty basic. The second age is just building off of the first stage. It's kind of like a GUI middle stage. And then the third stage is where you're kind of finalizing your civilization, what you want it to be. Are you focusing military? Are you focusing science? Or are you focusing on civilization and putting your points in different categories?
Now, there's lots of pros to this game that we definitely enjoy. One, of course, being that it's so easily accessible, pretty easy to teach to a new player, and pretty fast-paced that can be played in 30 minutes. That's just a plus for any game, especially when you are busy at times.
The game's also really replayable because there's a lot of randomness to where different items are placed in each stage of the game, I guess each age of the game.
And I also really like the combination between you trying to figure out what you're building for your civilization while at the same time putting stumbling blocks and obstacles in front of your opponent, throwing away cards they need, making it hard for them to get the things they need. So it's kind of like you have your own strategy, but you're also needing to look at your opponent and what they're trying to do, and I think that adds another layer to this game that I personally find pretty fun.
Another really important aspect of this game is that there are 7 wonders that can be built, but each player's dealt 4 different wonders, which means one player's kind of gonna get screwed over.
And that's just a part of the game, so I've always thought that was very fun. Now, the biggest con we have for this game is basically we mentioned that there's 3 different ways to win, but they're not all as equally likely. One way that you try to win is through science by getting 6 different science tokens throughout the game. This is sometimes impossible by the way that the cards are laid, and even if you grab every single one you possibly can, usually your opponent can stop you from winning that way, and really it acts more as like a threat that they have to watch out for than a legitimate way that's easy to win. It is possible, but it's almost never the case where you're going to win that way.
The same problems apply for the military victory. You don't really win through military unless your opponent's not paying attention.
So it ends up being like more nuanced approach to how you win through the civilization points, which are the cards that you built that give you just victory points for the end of the game. It is definitely part of the game that you have to keep your opponent from winning from science or military, and you kind of have this back and forth going on. But ultimately, it is who can stop their opponent from winning that way while still getting the most victory points for the end that usually determines the winner. So I do like that nuanced thing where you have to look out for your opponent, but it's also a little bit annoying that it's not really that viable to win in the other 2 ways.
Yeah, so overall, I'd say it's relatively simple, the entire game. The military aspect, I wish it was a little bit more juicy than it is, but, you know, it's just basically moving a little tracker, and maybe sometimes you'll make them lose coins. You can kind of track what your opponent wants to do.
So those are our main thoughts for Seven Wonders Duel. It's a game we really do enjoy. If you've played this game and enjoy it as well, please go ahead and share what you think about Seven Wonders Duel in the comments, and hopefully we'll see you later.